Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick here with some raw day trading. Back to the fight today. I had a decent day. I'm up $619 or so, and yeah, today I made some changes, which for me mostly I did the review yesterday. I don't know if you guys watched it. It was a lot of stuff that I know and just across the board, so much, so many details and mistakes that I missed that I I couldn't even write everything down. And I decided then when I realized that the main sort of snafu that I ran into was a distraction and attention deficit. Because I had my phone. I was on Instagram. I was watching, YouTube news videos. I had the chat open, and then I had a stock, and then I was eating, and then I had a stock that was really ripping, where I kept trying to come back, jump into it, make some money, and just be off timing, and then having to miss it, and having to sit on the sidelines and watch it because I did not have the confidence or the attention to confidently take positions. And then even later in the day, I was making changes to my platform, my setup, and there was another stock running, SOPA, and then I took trades on that, and I ended up losing. I was down at one point $500, and ended up making back half that, but it put me down total 500 on the day, and it was just really characteristic of just not focused trading, because I was just not totally present, and that's when you take trades that's when I take trades that on the surface look good, but underneath there's a fundamental reason why they're not good. And I wasn't able to do that processing, and then the lack of confidence will cycle, and I'm not there for when it does actually turn around in the way that I should be, or I'm taking too much of a loss, and then when it does turn around, I'm not able to make back as much as I should and be positive on the name, per the strategy. So basically, it's funny because like in trading, um, there's like a fuck ton of things that can go wrong, and it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Sometimes it's a strategy thing, right? So like I do have a strategy issue where a lot of my trades that I take just like statistically are poor, especially in like high contested areas where I don't have time to really consider my entries, to really have a high probability that I'm going to get those entries that I intend to get, um, and so like managing risk in those areas is generally negative, but and so like what ends up happening is I generally tend to, like, my fills are really bad and my risk is really bad, and like what I think to do is not right. And so as I'm like trying to like piece together how I've seen other traders trade in similar situations and how I'm trading, and like all this stuff. And so sometimes you have a strategy problem like that. Like that's an example of the strategy problem. But other times it's a personal problem where it's like I make a choice, or I don't have the bandwidth to really understand what's going on in the right context, um, or I'm not paying attention, or I'm out of timing because I'm like getting up and getting food and coming back, or like eating, and I'm just not focused, and like my brain is fuzzy because of like whatever I have going on in my stomach. Stuff like that is like the other area of trading, and then it makes all of those strategy areas, like let's say for example in this case where I am trying to make, I am working actively on becoming a more capable trader in highly contested areas. And any slight mishap on my attention because of that, because I don't have like those clear lines of like red flags of like what not to do, what to do yet, because I don't have that experience built in on like a subconscious level and have that subconscious competence. Everything I do is very like intentional. It has to be very almost deliberative. And I and when there's a deficit there on something that I'm learning, it's really costly. So, having said that, that's basically where I've been coming from, coming from a place where I've allowed these sort of distractions and different things to creep into the day. And today, I did the opposite. I was able to stick to it. I didn't eat any food till after I was done trading. All I did was drink coffee, went for a walk. I kept YouTube off until after I was done trading. I was able to, I listened to a little bit of music, but it was outside of my office, aka my room, as in you see my bed right there. And the other one was the chat. The chat was another one that I pulled out. I pulled that out of the mix, and what that does is it allowed me to really zone in and really focus on what what was happening in front of my face, and really filter the information through first person narrative instead of through somebody else's narrative or conflict that may or may not conflict with my narrative or have maybe over agreement to the narrative that I have, and therefore I was able to make decisions myself, which is super important. And so while this is all kind of like verbose and I feel like I'm kind of talking around points, I would really urge you to like listen to what I'm saying, because I'm trying to put as much substance into this as I can, because this stuff really makes a difference for me, and I'm able to make stuff happen when I'm totally focused and no distractions that I can't make happen even when I have slight distractions. So all saying that, that worked out really well today. Even though I traded not great, and we'll get to the trading actually in a separate video, because I think this is just so important to get through separately. So, having said that, I'm going to post this and then get to the trading, which is actually a really important day today too. We had a really high flying stock. It's a second day of big momentum, and initially I was able to take advantage of it, and then I just got roasted. Again, it's important because I've really got to dig into it. This is part of what I'm learning, and I paid a little bit today. So catch you in the next video coming up next.